I like to say Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahushua, Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash, and double honors the apostles and elders of GMS. And salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth sincerity. I like to say Muafla Babel, which is depth of Babylon. Lord willing, this is edifying for you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. So real quick, the video not going to be long, but if it be of the Lord, then that's just what it is. So I'm going to go into some prophecies, but some scriptures also just came to my mind as well. Scriptures that I always, pretty much go into when I go into a prophecy is Revelations 19 and 10. And it says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me," matter of fact, let me start up at 9. It says, "And he said unto me," Revelations 19 and 9, "And he said unto me, Write, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb." So we know the Lamb is Yahushua, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. "And he said unto me, These are the true sayings of the Most High." The Most High being Yahweh, who you ignorantly call God. "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not, that I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren, that have the testimony of Yahushua." Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy, man. So we know prophecy means to say before, right? And that's the topic that I'm getting into, is prophecy. So the scriptures most definitely elaborate on the importance of prophecy. This is Revelations 1 and 3. It says, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy," right? "And keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." So again, the Bible elaborates on how prophecy is important. And again, this is the topic that I'm getting into. So let me grab this one as well. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 1. These are scriptures I go into all the time. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 1. "Follow after charity." And we know charity is what? Charity means love. And love goes back into the keeping of the commandments, according to the book of John 14 and 15 and verse 22. John 5 and 3. And what else, man? The book of 2 John chapter 1, verse 5. So we know charity means charity means love, and love means to keep the commandments of the Most High. So here it says, "Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts." It says, "But rather that ye may prophesy." So the Lord would rather us to prophesy these words. We are men that are set up to prophesy, man. So let me get this as well. Going back to Jeremiah 28:8. This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. And it says, matter of fact, I'll start up at 7. "Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence." Right? And that's what we're about to get into, going into the book of Matthew 24 and 6. It says, the prophet which prophesy of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known the Lord have truly sent him. Right? And the Lord said in the book of Psalms 120, I believe, verse 7, He said, for I am for peace, but when I speak, it is for war, man. It is for war. So, again, we got the book of Revelations, chapter 19, verse 9, verse 9, verse 10. We also got the book of Revelations, verse 1, verse 3. I mean, first 1, verse 3. Salakia. Chapter 1, verse 3. 1 Corinthians 14 and 1. Jeremiah 28, 8. All four are precepts that I go into almost all the time, you know, with the best of my ability when I speak on prophecy. You know, so again, you know, Jeremiah 28, 8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Right? So let me get this, and then I'm gonna go into that Matthew 24 and 6. So this is the book of Ezekiel, right? Chapter 2, verse 10. And it says, I'm gonna start up at 9. Salakia, man, if I hesitate to get these scriptures, it's due to the fact that I'm driving. So I'm trying my best to pull these scriptures out with the best of my ability. So this is Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 9. And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. That book represents the Bible we have as of now. You know, this word was since the beginning. It says, and he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentation, mourning, and woe. And woe means destruction. You know, so let's go back here to the book of Matthew, chapter 24. So as I go through this chapter and these verses, I'm gonna pull out statistics to prove to you that the prophecies that are mentioned in this book has been happening. Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So the scripture says, ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. You know, and so let's go to Google and look up some statistics on the wars that have been going on in the world. So recent wars in America, let's go ahead and go to the list of wars involving the United States, you know, which is aka Babylon. We're going to go to the recent 21st century. We're not going to go into, you know, that 16, 17, all that. So let's go to 21st century, and I'll pull out a little bit of statistics and history on the wars that this place have had. So this is war in Afghanistan in 2001. You know, you had the war in 2003, invasion of Iraq, the war in Iraq, you know, which lasted from 2003 all the way to 2011. Every time these devils go into another kingdom, you got before and after pictures, man. This is the war in northwest Pakistan, which was 2004. Then you have the second U.S. intervention in the Somali Civil War, Salakia if I'm saying that wrong, which was 2007. And the Operation Ocean Shield, which is 2009 to 2016. So this place have had many wars through its upbringing. And let's go down here, man. Let's go a little bit down here, well, or all the way down. Let's get 2015, America intervention in Libya, 2015. You know, and then you got as of right now, the rumors of war being it's a lot for elaborating for too long, but I'm trying to make the point. You have the recent war that America have been in, you know, in Syria, Iran. Then they just kill that general. So America, America, aka Babylon, have been in wars since its upcoming, man. So Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? Not that long ago, you heard the rumors of war that was going to happen between the U.S. and Russia when Russia was flexing their muscles with their U.S. carrier out in the open, man. You know, and Russia is consistently doing that also with their military jets. You know, what else? Rumors of war. You had North Korea threatening the U.S. with thermonuclear attack. The same thing with Iran. Now you had Iran threatening America with retaliation because of the death of the general, which they did retaliate by shooting 15 missiles at U.S. bases, supposedly wounding and killing U.S. military soldiers, which Trump lied about, you know. So it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So the end is not yet. All these things are going to happen, but the end is not yet. So here it says, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation. And again, that's what's happening. Nation is rising against nation. That power struggle. Oh yeah, and I also want to say more wars is the economic war that the U.S. have against China, and also putting sanctions on the other nations. That's also a form of war. And before I go back into Matthew 24:7, let me get this Revelations 11 and 14. So this is Revelations 11 and 14, and it says, the second woe has passed, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Right, the third war being World War III, which is going to be by thermonuclear missiles. So I wanted to grab that real quick. Let me go ahead and go back to this Matthew 24 and 7, and it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So let's go to Jeremiah. You know, let's go to the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. This is Jeremiah 50:1. It says, the word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. You know, it says, declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall depart, both man and beast. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord. Matter of fact, let me skip down to verse 9. Verse 9, it says, for lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Salakia. It says, for thence shall she be taken. It says, their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. So, yeah, man, there's going to be wars against these nations, man. You know, and these nations are going to come up against who? America, aka Babylon. So again, Matthew's 24 and 7, and it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Salakia. Like I said, I'm driving. I'm trying to get these scriptures with the best of my ability. If not, then I'll turn around and make a part 2. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines. You know, if we look up some statistics of famines, you know, let's go back here, you know, and let's look up recent famines in America. So let's look up recent famines in the world, you know, and let's go to the list. So real quick, recent famines, and they got a whole list of famines that happened throughout history, man. You know, so if you want to go through this, you can go through this and speak on the recent famines that happened throughout history. You know, you got 2003 to 2005, which was the famine during war and Darfur. You know, these countries, nations and kingdoms. But you know what, brothers? I am going to go ahead and make a part 2. I'm on a narrow passageway. So I'm going to make a part 2 of this video. But I'm going to go ahead and say Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahweh Shai, Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. And salutations to you brothers out there doing this work of truth and sincerity. I like to say Muwathla Bible, which is death to Babylon. And Lord willing, this was edifying for you brothers out there that's doing this work of truth and sincerity. Until next time, Shalom.